Hey, what's happening? You're watching Toon Army TV. This is the match review from the game this afternoon at the Emirates Stadium. It's finished Arsenal 2, Newcastle United 0. I'm not surprised at the final score. Arsenal were full value for their 2-0 win this afternoon. We can't do the basics right in this league. We can't defend and we don't create enough opportunities in the final third. Yes, you could argue it was a game of two halves where the first half we made a real fist of it. Second half, well, we'll go back to what we usually do, which is switch off, and we then stop doing the basics and we give the opposition far too many chances. And that's why we're bottom of the Premier League. We're there for a reason and we'll stay there until we get the basics right. We learn how to defend and we create more opportunities. Arsenal were strong favourites going into the game this afternoon. They've got a good record against us at the Emirates. We've only won there once, and that was back in 2010. Nothing was going to change this afternoon. It could have done if we followed the first half performance into the second half performance, but it's been evident this season that we can't stay, in control of a match for probably more than half an hour, 45 minutes. It's been a real struggle, and Eddie Howe he's got his work cut out. He really has. This side for me simply isn't good enough, and we're going to have to make signings in the January. We're going to need some centre backs in, whether that be Tarkowski, whether that be Connor Cody. We need some more leaders, in this side. Eddie Howe, he brought back in Dubravka, and I'm not going to fault him for the two goals that were conceded this afternoon. I'm going to look at the defence. For me, Eddie Howe has taken a big risk in playing, 3-4-3. We couldn't defend, with five at the back, let alone three. I feel like we're leaving ourselves too open. Yes, Eddie Howe wants to play this, attractive, attacking football, and I'm all for it. But maybe if he changes it from 3-4-3 to 4-3-3 and play a flat back four, maybe that would have served us quite well in both the Brentford and the Arsenal game. Unfortunately for Eddie Howe, he couldn't be in the dugout for the Brentford game, but he could this afternoon because he tested negative for COVID. I'm glad that he's well and he's been able to see the team, from the dugout. And for me, Eddie Howe, yes, as much as he's training them, and I'm glad that the lads are showing some fight, it's still not good enough. And when you've played 13 games and you're rock bottom of the Premier League and you're winless, it's starting to get desperate. And looking at the side that he went with, I really couldn't complain. It looked strong enough to try and do something this afternoon. I wasn't expecting, I said a win, a draw potentially, but that slipped through our fingers very, very quickly in the second half. So looking at the first half performance, I think we were quite resolute. Defensively, we kept our shape. We defended when we needed to. We limited Arsenal to only 2 shots on target. They were getting quite frustrated because we kept our shape. It's very important to keep your shape when you don't have the ball, and we are a side that don't keep the ball for a long period of time, and that was evident in the first half. We weren't going to have a lot of the ball. It was always going to be Arsenal, and it's important that we stayed disciplined. We did. We got back when we had to, and we did press when we needed to, despite not doing a great deal in the final third. Likewise, Arsenal, we had a couple of chances on target, and we pretty much matched them, in that first half. And we pressed something that we haven't been doing, for a large part of this season. And yes, okay, we're not going to play Arsenal every single week, but in this league, you have to try and find a way, to pick up points, and it's going to take time. It really is. And that first half wasn't too bad. Like for us, Shelby had our two best opportunities. The first one where he picked up the ball and he smashed it, and it was going on target. Ramsdale was on hand to tip it over onto the crossbar, and then he had a shot from just outside the box. Saka had a couple of opportunities as well, a few from the sort of side netting, and we're going to half time 0-0. It's looking quite positive, and you're thinking, can we go out in that second half and be a bit more brave and potentially have more possession of the ball and work Ramsdale a lot more? For me, it just wasn't the case. We sort of shut off and we allowed Arsenal to dictate the play. And Arsenal, with their quality, with the likes of Saka and Smith Rowe, we were always going to be in trouble. And I'm looking at the likes of Kraft, who's putting in some silly challenges. He gets a yellow card and then he gets away with doing the same challenge again. He could have been, sent off. He was a red card waiting to happen. I said before Arsenal scored through Saka that Kraft is another yellow card, a red card waiting to happen. And Eddie Howe didn't make that change. I would have taken him off, and he was at fault for me for the first goal. Yes, you could say Lascelles was standing there, but when you lose your man and you're caught ball watching like he was, then you're going to get punished in this league. And it's not the first time that Emil Kraft has done this. And on 56 minutes, it was Saka who was part of the reason they scored. He played a 1-2 with Tavares, and then Tavares manages to pick out. Smith Rowe was part of the play as well. He picked out Tavares, and Tavares he managed to pick out Saka, who was just onside, and twice Kraft was ball watching, and he lost his man. And you could say Lascelles could get there a little bit quicker, but the minute Smith Rowe picks out Tavares and Tavares puts that ball, into Saka, he's clinical, and when he's one-on-one with Martin Dubravka, for me, there's only one outcome. It's a goal for Arsenal, and it's a goal for Saka. He's had a decent afternoon, and he's managed to pick his spot, and he scored, and Arsenal go 1-0 up, and they're a full value for the 1-0 lead because they come out strong. They want to go for it, and you don't blame them, being the home side. Of course, they want to react from their disappointing defeat to Liverpool, and then we again just shut off, and Arsenal, they're creating numerous opportunities. Yes, there was appeal for a penalty for us when Shelvey puts through Callum Wilson. For me, looking back at it and seeing the replay, it's not a penalty. I would feel really harsh for Arsenal fans if that was a penalty for us, because I don't think there's enough contact there from Tavares on Callum Wilson. I think he's already going down, and if the contact's there, it's very minimal. It's not enough for Callum Wilson to go down. He's strong enough, and he's probably very lucky not to go in the book. The referee could have actually given him a yellow card for simulation. Other fans will disagree, but I don't think that's a penalty. And I feel like Callum Wilson's got to be stronger in that situation. He's got to do a lot more there. And from that resulting penalty not given, Arsenal go up the other end, will lose concentration. And again, it happens through Smith Rowe. He picks out Tomiyasu, and he picks out a delicious ball over to Martinelli, who was just on the pitch for a couple of minutes. And when the ball goes across to him, no one's picking him up. It goes over his shoulder, and he just smashes it beyond Martin Dubravka. He has absolutely no chance, and Arsenal go 2-0 up, and for me it's game over. All our hard work of the first half has just been undone because we are defensively all over the place. We can't defend, and that's why we're bottom of the Premier League. And for me, that Eddie Howe had to make the changes, and he did. Matt Ritchie and Joe Linton went off, and Jacob Murphy also come on the pitch with Almiron. Yes, we did make a real game of it at 2-0 down. We created some chances, but for me, it's still a little too late. And it's frustrating how, we go 2-0 down and then we start playing football. Like, where was this, in the sort of the first part of the second half? Like, where was this from, like, the 45th minute onwards? Why is it taking Arsenal to go 2-0 up to then start to play football? Do you know what I'm saying? Yes, we've got a rotten record at the Emirates, and yes, they've got a better team than us on paper, but for me, I think we need to ditch this 3-4-3. We need to play 4-3-3 or something with a flat back four at the back. It's the only way that we're going to, stop conceding goals, because we're leaking in far too many and we're losing far too many games. Yes, we've drawn, too many games as well, but we need to start turning even points into 3 points. I said this last week, in the Brentford game when I done the match day vlog. But as said, for us, our best performer in that first half was Shelvey. I think second half we've just again stopped playing, and we've left it too late. And I said Arsenal are full value for the 2-0 lead this afternoon, and the players need to look at themselves. I'm sure Eddie Howe will analyse it. I do trust Eddie. I trust the team. I trust what the board are going to do in January. They're going to have to look at this, and we're going to have to sort out our defence, because that's what's going to cost us our Premier League status. We are in real danger of going down. It doesn't matter if we've got money or not, because money doesn't buy you everything. But for me, this side isn't good enough. It really isn't. And it's been proven in the 13 games that we've played so far. We've got 2 massive games in midweek. We've got Norwich and Burnley coming up. It's St James's Park. For me, we need all 6 points. If we do not get 6 points next week, then I'm sorry, we're in big, big trouble. For me, I won't even accept a win and a draw. We need to beat both Norwich and Burnley, and fast, because if we don't win games, likewise now, we're getting cut adrift. We're relying on the likes of Leeds to get beat because they're already 5 points clear of us on 11 points and we're only on 6. We shouldn't be relying on other sides to do with favours. We need to look at ourselves, and yes, it's going to take a while for Eddie Howe to instill what he wants, the lads to do. But yeah, I'm just frustrated because I think the first half was decent, but we didn't play at the same tempo in the second half. But yeah, we'll leave the Emirates empty-handed. I'm not surprised. Again, we've played them 16, 17, 18 times, and we still haven't managed to, to try and... Well, I don't even think we've scored, in the last 4 or 5 years. But there you go. It's finished at the Emirates. Arsenal 2, Newcastle United 0. Let me know your thoughts down below. Yeah, Eddie Howe's got a lot of work to do if he didn't already when he took the job. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, share, comment and subscribe. And I'll see you all in the next one. How are the lads?